Thanksgiving. Fuck off giving. Are they different? Probably.
Wow. Are you okay? You're gonna
The
jump off a bridge?
holidays have been tough for me.
Okay.
I did Thanksgiving. We had everyone here. We had them all over at the house. We had Forrest came.
Yeah.
Jason John Whitehead. Amos was there. Jason John Whitehead's uncle's coming.
He came.
He came.
Yeah.
I like to plan.
Coming and then he
came. I like to plan all me thanks before people get there. What I'll say, the thanks. I'm always thankful of everyone at the table, but I'm going to go. I'm thankful of all these people here. You're all very special to me, except for Jason's uncle. I've just met you. You seem very nice.
I remember one year that your son thanked for having a roof over your head.
Yeah. My son went like this. I'd like to thank everyone here at the table. I'd like to thank Dad for giving me a roof over my head.
You must have said that to him in some bit of anger.
I don't even discipline the kid, man. I don't know where he gets it from. He's always like, thanks for letting me live here, Dad.
Thanks so much.
I mean, he's a sweet kid.
Yeah, he is a sweet kid.
This is so funny. Yeah. Okay. Well, how was your Thanksgiving that you didn't have?
Jason's uncle actually came at my house too. So
Oh no.
Man, that guy comes everywhere.
They're not even meant to have Thanksgiving. They're Canadians.
Yeah. What did you do for Thanksgiving, Jack?
I went to my friend Haley's house and I made a Popeyes turkey.
He makes a Popeyes
How did
turkey
you make it?
every year.
You just heat it up.
Well, you buy it and then it's frozen. You have to defrost it.
Oh, you do have to
heat
cook
up.
it. I thought you just
Yeah.
heat it up.
Is it covered in Popeyes crispiness or anything?
It's like a blackened chicken type of thing. But obviously it's turkey.
Why Popeyes?
Because it's kind of funny.
Is it good?
Oh, it's great.
yeah, Popeyes is good.
It's like Cajun season.
It's
right?
Cajun seasoning, yeah.
Ooh, eat that good turkey.
Yeah, all right. I've never rated Popeyes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I know
you
you
never
don't
had their
like
turkey.
A lot of people like it. A lot of people lose. The Amos loves it.
It's really location to location.
Amos likes it?
Yeah.
Didn't know it.
Yeah, I don't rate the Popeyes. Too crispy.
I like it.
I like the Chick-fil-A. Anything that hurts minorities is the food that I normally. No, I like the Chick-fil-A. I'm a big fan of the Chick-fil-A. They make their breakfast now is so good. They've got a muffin with the chicken in it.
I had it.
It's good.
After you recommended it, I went and got it.
We know better than those biscuits. The biscuits are too much. Australians don't understand American biscuits. They're just large scones that you think
They're moister than a scone.
sandwich worthy.
I like the scones.
Oh god,
They're moister
They're
than
a
a scone, a
dreadful, mealy fucking thing to eat. I could live here forever. I'll never understand that. I still don't get Thanksgiving. I've said this every year.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Too close to Christmas. It feels like the same meal. It is the same meal as what you eat.
How
in
far
Australia.
away from Christmas should it be?
Well, I know your theory on Thanksgiving, that it's the gateway to Christmas. You've said this to
Such
me.
a funny I love that.
Forrest goes,
Wait, did I say that?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
go.
remember saying
That's
that.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Forrest, it's brilliant.
Forrest said to me once, he goes, oh, no, it's the best. It's the best. I go, you just eat and watch football. He goes, no, it's the gateway to Christmas. When you're a kid, you have like, as soon as Thanksgiving's over, you start rubbing your hands together like, and Christmas is coming.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
The
right.
school year speeds up. Like after
is true.
Thanksgiving, you're not really getting like hard
get, like, 2
assignments
weeks after
and stuff like
Thanksgiving.
that.
It's like when it's like 4 o'clock at work, and you're getting
Yeah.
off at 5. You're
100%,
like, all
yeah.
right, we're done.
Yeah.
Like we're
That's
done with the school year.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you kind of get that. Plus, my birthday is December 1st, so it was even that extra thing where it's like I got Thanksgiving, so now I got my birthday and there's Christmas. I'm practically done this year. So it was extra special for me where I had that extra thing going.
So
too.
December was big for you.
So Thanksgiving was the start of him giving up
Yeah, I was
every year.
done.
My-
After Thanksgiving, I'm like, year's over. I'm clocking out.
my,
You know,
my,
like
my
that.
son's birthday's near Halloween, and he does that. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we go Halloween, then my birthday,
Yeah.
then Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, he's clocking out
then-
early.
Yeah.
He's clocking out at 3
That is what he
o'clock.
talks about.
He's got a part-time job.
He's got a couple of mates who still believe in Santa, and he's just like, Dad, how long can I not say anything? I go, you're not allowed to say anything. It's up to their parents.
What grade is he in?
He's 10.
Fourth, right?
But he's only been a year without Santa, right?
This is his second year.
Oh yeah, but once it is funny when you're a kid. Once you don't believe in Santa anymore, you act very smuggy
Yeah.
about it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
these other
Fucking
idiots.
idiots.
I've known for 3 months. Fucking idiots. This is idiots.
Yeah, he's definitely got a bit of that going on.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I just nod along when they're talking.
It's a good life lesson.
Yeah.
It's nice that he doesn't say it because there are kids that are just dickheads.
I had a kid who ruined it for me, but I was
Yeah.
too stupid at the time to go, that's just because you don't believe.
That's exactly what
are you,
I would
Elf?
imagine Jack would say.
Yeah. And then they were like, but Jack, we're finishing high school this year. It's time.
Shut up.
Gotta believe.
Go to gym.
Spring break, I'm going to Santa's village.
He wrote me a letter. He said we could use workers like you.
When did Jack start talking like that?
I don't know. I ever tell the story about like they used to get the little kids in school when we were in like year 5.
Please tell it. You've told it, but please tell it. Again.
Yeah,
It's my
I was, so
favorite.
I was about 12 or 13, right? They used to get the little kids to write letters to Santa, and then, like, as a sweatshop assignment for us, like 12, 13-year-olds, we used to have to write back as Santa to the kids. So they had the classrooms working as a factory line, right? And so we get the letter, and also, if anyone's seen my handwriting now...
That's what I was thinking. I was like, they're like, Santa sucks in.
Yeah,
writing.
like Santa must have carpal tunnel or something. Because this is...
He was on his sleigh when he was writing this.
Yeah. This just seems like a bumpy ride of a letter. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and then bloody some kid in kindergarten's asked for some Sega Master System or something like that, and I'm, well, there, Timmy, you've been a good boy, and I'm writing it down. And the girl I'm sitting next to, her name's Philippa. I won't say her second name because, and she turns to me and she goes, "This is really wrong, you know. These letters should be getting to Santa." And we were almost 13, and I just looked at her like, "Oh no!"
She had you in the first half. Philippa.
JimJefferies.com for all your upcoming tour dates. You got Asia, you got England, UK.
I think you're in Asia right now.
You got.
I'm in Asia right
I think
now.
you're in South Korea right now.
Are you? Oh, because we just talked about Thanksgiving. That's a
Yeah.
different one.
Nope.
Okay.
You're in Asia.
Yeah, that's all right. No, but we've had Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay, I thought this one was going to
People
be.
know-
Oh, this is definitely like
I-
over.
people-
I thought
know-
this was going to be the beginning of the other. We're just gonna
People
flip 'em.
know that we
Too late
record
now.
these things early. We recorded this one just after Thanksgiving.
I like that it's so much later.
Yeah. We're recording a bunch while Jim's in Asia.
because you see, I'm in Asia.
And I'm there too. Yeah, so.
Hey,
And
of course,
also,
you're in Asia.
and also, don't be distracted by the last 2 podcasts, me wearing the same outfit.
Yeah. Me too.
Don't worry about
Kelly?
it. I'm just still celebrating Australia winning the World Cup.
We're in Asia. How are we doing this? Yeah.
Buddy, they're the ones who invent all the technology that makes this happen.
True.
We're amazing.
Yeah,
We
they
give them
can-
what they want tour.
You give them what they want to, eh?
So you can find all the dates on there. I think we're currently in somewhere.
I think
we
you're in.
should-
Oh well, it's still the Moist
I
tour.
think you're in
Asia.
Seoul. I think you're in Seoul right now.
Oh, it's the Moist Tour in Asia?
Yep.
Look, let's be honest. It's the tour of new material that hasn't been shown yet.
Yeah. What hasn't been aired?
We should probably announce too that
The show's called "What Have You Not Seen?"
after next week we're going to be taking some time off of the podcast.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think we have 2 more episodes come out after
2 more
this.
episodes. Yeah, we have 2 more episodes.
Yep, we'll have 2 more
okay.
episodes.
But we can start
Yeah,
easing
we should
people into it.
ease people into this. So basically, throughout January, we will not be podcasting. So we'll come back
For a
in
couple
February.
reasons. Yeah.
For a couple reasons, but we'll
One.
announce them later.
We're not going to announce them now?
Are we allowed to?
I
I
think
don't think so.
Yeah, we'll
Wow.
we'll announce later
The
when,
one
it's, when
announces
it's official.
Jim's in Australia
Yeah.
for a month shooting
One,
the game
one is
show.
he's gone.
I'm filming the 1% Club.
Jim will be taping his
I'll
game
do a
show
little,
in Australia.
I'll do a little practice for you right now. So, Jack, if you win the money, what are you going to do with it?
I'll probably buy my mom a car.
I would have bought a new tits.
So
Fuck, I got a lot of practice.
Jim might be coming home early because
we might be doing the podcast after all. We'll see.
No, don't heed this. Don't worry about this warning.
I'll give it another go. So, Kelly, why did you come on the show for? I'd probably come on your tits.
I don't think we're even doing the podcast even.
Oh, one more shot.
wait,
One more
that's
shot.
JJ's uncle is the host.
All right, hey, Forrest.
Yeah.
Forrest.
Wait, ask him his name. He doesn't know. You don't know his name yet.
Yeah, I'll just do a simple one.
Yeah.
So, what's your name? What do you do?
I'm Forrest Shaw. I'm an electrician.
Electricity runs, Forrest, runs.
Kills himself on stage.
And then I go, I've always had a gun on me.
It's gonna go great.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, stay tuned.
1% of you are going to get blood splatter on you.
Small gun. Anyway, so we'll be taking some time off in January. Details to follow, but have no fear.
Yes, we will be back.
So re-listen to the podcasts.
So, Jack, have you travelled far to get here?
Yes.
We're from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
It's just in Australia.
Really far.
I'm a sand groper.
Yeah,
I'm from Perth.
Why didn't you go on the American version when the currency rate's a lot better?
These are great questions. I don't have the answer for you.
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah,
That was
did
me.
you fly here?
Yes.
Your arms are tired. I got this, man.
Yeah, you're gonna kill it.
You're natural.
Channel 7, look out.
Yeah, he'll be on the Channel 7 Stables of Stars. There's some executive that's there going, what have we done?
Is that what they call it?
Listens to the
The
podcast.
Stable of Stars?
That's what they always do, like in like channels when they have like all the different game show hosts and
Yeah.
stuff. And when you walk into a foyer and they have all the pictures up above behind the desk, that's the Stable of Stars. I don't think I'm behind the desk worthy yet. I'll have to get a few seasons
No, we have to
in.
see your legs.
By the water fountain.
Yeah.
That's not bad. People gotta get water.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Anyways, buy some tickets for the shows. ID
Come
Cat
and see us in
Podcast.
Asia if you're listening in Asia.
Yeah. Come on out to Asia. We're there now.
We're in Japan watching the World Cup final tomorrow.
No, in Singapore is the final. I think we're in Singapore in the final.
We're going to watch it in Singapore.
Yeah, I believe so.
Australia versus Saudi Arabia.
Oh my gosh.
It's been an upset.
And I think we're gonna do some ads.
All right. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Is it checking your credit score? Didn't think so. At Chime, that's exactly what they do. With their secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can start to build credit with your own money. Chime reports your payments to the credit bureau to help you build credit over time. Their members see an increase of 30 points on average. All of this with no annual fees, large security deposits, or credit cards to apply. So start your credit card journey at chime.signup.
No, just start your credit journey with Chime.
Oh, that's a full stop.
Yep.
Start your credit journey with Chime. Sign up takes only 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/IDK. That's chime.com/IDK.
The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank NA pursuant to a license from Visa USA Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some users' scores may not improve. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply, except at MoneyPass ATMs in a 7-Eleven or any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM.
This holiday season, the best deals in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll get another 3 months for free. As the first company to sell premium wireless services only online, Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from your home with an eSIM while saving tons on phone plans, just starting at $15 a month. If you've never tried Mint Mobile before this holiday deal, it's the perfect time to switch. Mint Mobile's best offer of the year is here. For a limited time, buy any 3-month plan and get 3 months more for free. By going online with an eSIM and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes significant savings on to you. All plans come with the unlimited talk and text and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. Or if you need a new device for a limited time, get 6 months off free service when you buy a select device and plan. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. For a limited time, Buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 months free by going to mintmobile.com/IDK. That's mintmobile.com/IDK. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/IDK. Today's episode is sponsored by PayPal, honey. The easy way to save when shopping on your phone or computer. Everyone's shopping online because holidays are here, and who wants to shop in the store? It's packed. Plus, there's no discounts. That's where Honey manually searching for coupons is a thing. With Honey now, manually searching for coupons is a thing of the past. Honey is free shopping tool that scours the internet and promo codes and applies the best one that fits your cart. Imagine you're shopping at one of your favorite sites. When you get to checkout, the Honey button will drop down and you just click apply coupons, wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons and finds the best one for that site. If Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop. It's that easy. Jack, you been Christmas present buying?
Yep.
What have you bought? You can't say because
I can't say specifically, but how about socks?
You bought people's socks and you were at the sock site,
I went to the sock site.
and then the socks were like $18 because they were fashionable.
They were nice socks.
They were nice socks.
But guess what?
Yeah, Argyle socks were they?
Argyle, what's the bone pattern you like?
Paisley.
No, the other one.
Houndstooth.
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 Yeah.
Houndstooth socks.
Yeah.
Like the David Jones logo. Yeah. And what happened?
Honey
Yeah.
found a promo code and knocked 20% off.
There's something that doesn't sock.
Nice.
Not planned, everybody. He's a professional.
You can even save more when you ask Honey to keep track of price drops on your holiday shopping list. If a price drops on anything on your list, it will instantly get an alert and let
that's
you know.
awesome.
That's new. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. I'd never recommend something I don't use. Get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/IDK. That's joinhoney.com/IDK.
Okay, please welcome our guest, Dan Zehr.
Now it's time to play.
Yes, though. Yes, though. Yes, though. Yes, though. Judging a book by its cover.
Hello, Dan, and we're talking about Star Wars. I can see Jabba the Hutt. I can see all the figures over there. It's a Star Wars-y type room. Tell me we're talking about Star Wars.
We're actually going to talk about Doritos. I love Doritos, love chips. Yes, we are. I realize that. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me on this amazing program. Yes, my background certainly gives it away, I would say.
You've guessed Star Wars a couple times, though, because we've had people with Star Wars, but not that much Star Wars.
This is a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Star Wars.
Let me introduce Dan. Dan Zehr is one of the most recognized and respected personalities in Star Wars fandom. Dan hosts the popular podcast Coffee with Kenobi. Zehr is a longtime contributor to StarWars.com and is the co-author of 3 Star Wars books, The Star Wars Book, The Star Wars Character Encyclopedia, and Star Wars, I Am Your Father, Lessons for Parents, Protectors, and Mentors. He is also a prominent and trusted influencer for all things Star Wars. You can find him on Instagram at coffee_with_Kenobi, on Twitter at Coffee with Kenobi, on Facebook at Coffee with Kenobi, and then you can go to coffeewithkenobi.com, which is the website, and I think you can find the links to everything on there, including there's all sorts of cool merch and things like that on there. And then also on Twitter at Mr. Zehr. Thanks for being here, Dan.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Sorry you had to go through that entire little resume there.
No, great. Well, thanks for being on our show. We're glad to promote things like that. How did you
My
become
pleasure.
one of the most recognized and respected personalities in Star Wars fandom?
Oh, gosh. Well, I don't know. I just know that I've been unabashedly myself, and I've always loved Star Wars. I'm an educator for my day job. So a couple of years into my career as a high school English teacher, I was teaching a class, I believe, on Hamlet. And I remember hearing the students talk a certain way, and I thought, this would be a great way to analyze something like Star Wars, which I love. And when I was commuting for a couple of years, I would listen to Star Wars podcasts, and I always loved them. And I always thought, what a great medium this is to not only have a voice, but to give other people a voice as well. So eventually I talked to one of my friends, and I said, let's start a podcast. And as many different things as we tried to figure out what it might be about, we always came back to Star Wars. And then he said, hey, how about the name Coffee with Kenobi? And because I'm an English teacher, I love that alliterative nature. So we started the show. I created a social media account on something called Twitter. Are we allowed to say that anymore? And it just kind of grew from there. And then eventually I caught the attention of Lucasfilm, and they liked that I used Star Wars in my classroom to promote other things. And that has led me literally all over the world to a lot of amazing things, books and things like that. I've been to several Hollywood premieres. I've got to have some legitimate FaceTime with Harrison Ford, George Lucas, Carrie Fisher, a lot of people. I've been very, very fortunate.
I heard that Kenobi's just been let back onto Twitter. He was taken off for a while because he kept on calling them sand people.
Yeah, well, you heard correctly. Fortunately, everything got all polished.
They're Tuscan Raiders. You can't call them sand people. That generation, holy hell.
That's not good.
So I'm going to ask Jim some questions about Star Wars. Now, Jim is a huge Star Wars fan.
I like it all, except for I didn't really watch the Clone War cartoons. Is the only thing that I feel I'm a bit weak on.
But you know a lot about it. Now, there are some questions on here that I think you're going to know. I did ask I found a place that has very hard questions that I don't think you'll know that I just wanted to throw in here anyways, just to do it. So I'll ask.
What if Dan doesn't know them? I think Dan will know them. But
I sent a link to the thing I got the questions for just in case Dan didn't know. But
I haven't looked at them yet, though.
Okay, if you don't,
I like to kind of be improvised.
Some of these are ridiculous that I found, but I think most of them you'll know at the very least. So. And then, so at the end of that, you're going to grade him 0 through 10, 10 being the best on his accuracy of his knowledge, and then Kelly's going to grade him on his confidence.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's going to answer. He's going to answer all the questions. We'll take notes, and then we'll come back and answer them all correctly and see how he did.
Well, as long as his check clears, I think his grade will be just fine.
Yeah. Kelly's going to grade him with confidence. I'm going to grade him at cetera. We'll add those scores together. If you're 21 through 30, you're Luke Skywalker, and then 11 through 20, Billy Cloud Jogger, 0 through 10, Morris Mudskipper. I don't know what that is, but first question. Okay. I'm going to start easy. Who created Star Wars?
George Lucas.
Okay. What year did the first Star Wars movie come out?
1977.
Okay. What is the Skywalker saga?
The Skywalker saga is the story of the family of Skywalkers, starting with really the inception of Anakin Skywalker his mother being artificially inseminated in a way similar to Mary of the Bible by the midichlorians to make Anakin, and then his family gene goes through to be the most powerful Jedis that they ever really saw.
Kelly usually types your answers in there. She doesn't even know how to type that word you just said.
No, well,
midichlorians.
So I've only ever seen the original Star Wars, and I saw like bits and pieces of it when I was in middle school, and I saw it for the first time all the way through recently because my nephews are really into Star Wars. So much of this, I'm going to be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I'll do my best with the notes.
What is George Lucas's origin story with regards to the creation of Star Wars and the Skywalker saga?
That's a meaty question.
What was his origin story? So that is a meaty. So his first movie was a movie called THX, which was when you hear like the sound, like that he invented that sound that you have in the cinema, right? Mm-hmm. And that was a sort of a student-y type film that was a sort of apocalyptic sort of sci-fi type of in the future type of a movie. And then he wanted to make another sort of sci-fi type of film, but then he had to make American Graffiti, which had Harrison Ford in it. It was the first time he worked with Harrison Ford, and it had Ron Howard in it. And then afterwards, he liked all the old Flash Gordon type of serials, and they used to start with a rolling of words coming up the screen, all that type of stuff. So it was him watching old sci-fi things. I believe he lived in, it was somewhere up Northern California, near Stockton or something like that.
Okay. Here's an easy one, and then I'm going to give you...
Yeah, Modesto, yeah.
Here's an easy one. I'm going to give you a hard one. Who's Chewbacca?
Chewbacca is a Wookiee who's best friends and maybe lovers with Han Solo.
Okay, here's our one.
And he was originated because George Lucas used to drive around with a large dog on his front seat, and he used to think that looked funny, an image to have a co-pilot being a big furry animal.
Here's our one. 4 of the following characters were not hanging out at Jabba's palace when Luke comes to rescue his friends in the third Star Wars movie, Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Here's the list. 4 of these were not there. Erica, Autark, BG-J38, Boba Fett, Doalen, Goel, Lojanella, Khalid. Should I do this, or you're not going to
Well, Boba Fett was there.
Okay. How about Khalid? Malakali.
No, I don't know.
Salet, Mary.
No, this is too deep divey for me.
Okay. Name all the movies in the Star Wars film and who directed them.
Now I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I always forget the bloody okay. So George Lucas did the original Episode 4, and then the guy who did Empire Strikes.
What's the name of that movie?
A New Hope.
Okay.
And then
Am I allowed to chime in and help him, or do I just have to smile and look pretty?
Well, usually what we do is he answers them all, and then we'll go back, and then you tell us the answers.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I believe Lucas did episodes 1, 2, and 3. Like he went back on the helm and did those ones, and then he did 4 originally, and then second one was the old guy with the white beard.
What second one?
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Kroshner, something like that. Something like that.
know.
Yeah, he did it. I don't know who did the Return of the Jedi. I think Return of the Jedi was the same guy who did Empire Strikes Back. Then the
director, you mean?
Yeah, and then the last J.J. Abrams did 1 and 3 of the new trilogy.
The Force Awakens
And yeah, the other one, and the one in the middle. I hated all 3 of those films.
Well,
It's
who did the one in the middle?
I
Who
hated
did the one in the
I
middle?
don't mind the prequels. I'm a fan of the prequels.
Who did the one in the middle?
Can't
The
stand
other
them.
director in the middle.
I don't know.
And you don't know who wrote any of them?
Abrams was involved. Chris Columbus was involved as well.
Yeah, we'll go back to that. Okay. What is the Force?
The Force is what binds us, what brings us together, what gives us life.
Yes.
Over the course of time, the Force has been bastardized by the last 3 fucking films. What the Force does is it makes you can talk to people and give them mind tricks, Jedi mind tricks. You can lift moderately sized things up, and if you're Yoda, you can lift a whole X-wing up out of a swamp, right? And that meant to blow your mind. But evidently, the Force in the new films, you can jump from character to character, and you can rip planes in half
So you're
with
upset?
your fist. I'm not happy about it.
Okay.
Even in like the Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy, he's all underneath a whole lot of rocks, and then the rocks all go out.
Okay.
Too much Force. They've bastardized the Force.
All right. What important material would you need to make a lightsaber?
You need those crystals. Oh, fuck, I know this. They mine them. Fuck, I know this.
I thought I would get this one.
Yeah, I know it as well. The crystals. Get me back. And it's also
Okay, we'll come back to
that crystal is responsible for what is shooting out of the Death Star to make that big thing as well. So they're all.
Okay. Easy one. Who was Yoda?
Yoda was a powerful, powerful Jedi that came from the Dagobah system.
Okay. Okay, here's a hard one.
We're retired in the Dagobah system.
There is only one little person who appears in all 3 original
Warwick
trilogy.
Davis.
No, he appears in all 3 original trilogy Star Wars films as different races. What's his name and what 3 characters does he portray? Warwick Davis, you said his name?
Well, Warwick Davis played Wicket, and then he
This guy plays 3 different races in all of the first 3
Yeah,
films.
but Warwick Davis is also in the Phantom Menace for a very small moment, and then he's also
the 3 original trilogy.
3 original. One little Kenny Baker, and he plays R2D2.
And what other 2? He plays 3 different races.
Kenny Baker plays 3 different. Okay, so I'll say that he plays a Jawa.
Yeah.
He
I
plays.
have the answer in there. This one was one of the hard ones.
He plays a Jawa, a droid, and a Ewok.
How many languages is C-3PO fluent in?
It's in the thousands. I'm responsible for. If I watch one of the films, fuck, I know all this shit.
I know you know a lot of stuff.
5,000 or something.
What is the name of the Death Star's original commander?
Fuck, I'm out of fucking sorts here.
I thought you were gonna crush these.
Yeah, Lieutenant, the guy they fucking CGI'd him for Rogue One.
I know you know a lot. I had to make these harder because
I've forgotten his name. He's the guy who's in a lot of horror films and stuff.
What is the name of the creature that lives in the trash compactor on the original Death Star called?
Oh, I don't know. I've never known that.
I didn't know either. How old is Yoda when he dies?
He's around 500 years old.
Okay, here's one you should get. Who is Luke and Leia's mom?
Natalie Portman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Black Swan.
Yeah. Queen Amidala.
Who killed Han Solo?
I don't acknowledge these films, but it was Ben.
Can you say the writer?
It was
Yeah.
Ben, it was Ben Solomon. I have a story about this. So I when the new movies were coming out, I was super excited, like everybody else was. The same, I was excited about the prequels, and I put a tweet out like this. Just over at J.J. Abrams' house. What a fucking movie. I'm so happy that he showed it to me. I can't believe that Han Solo dies. Like, I released that like 5 days before the premiere came out. I didn't know. I hadn't seen the fucking film. Anyway, so he died. So then I got so much hate mail like, fuck you, you ruined the movie for me. And I'm like, you think fucking J.J. Abrams has me over to watch fucking Star Wars and then I'm allowed to fucking say that Han Solo dies and there's no repercussions? Anyway, there was one cunt and he was so unhappy with me about that he went and saw every movie like the morning it came out, and then he'd send me an email, and the email would start with, "Hey Jim, I'm a big fan." So you open it up, and then it would be a transcript of everything that happened.
Something similar happened to me. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but I was dealing with a fruit fly situation in my apartment. And so the day of the Red Wedding episode, I had put up a Facebook status that said, "I can't believe they're finally all dead." And I got so many comments being like, "Fuck you." Like, what the fuck? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But I was getting yelled at for Game of
I
Thrones.
still don't know what happened there.
I thought you were going to get a lot more of these. So this is.
I know, but I'm a
no, but
bit-
this next one's so hard. I'm not even
I
going to ask.
know
you.
my
Very,
bro-
very close on a lot of
I
them.
know
I'd
my
say
brother
definitely.
Scott is sitting at home now angry because that's all we did was watch Star Wars. But
This
you know.
next one is ridiculously hard. You want me to ask it to you?
Sure.
Assuming blaster technology gets better over time, rank these fighters by weapons firepower from weakest to strongest.
Okay, sure.
A-wing, B-wing, E-wing, V-wing, X-wing, Y-wing, Z95 head Z95 headhunter TIE fighter.
I believe
Weakest to strongest.
I believe a TIE fighter isn't as strong, just in the way they blow up, than an X-wing. I think an X-wing and a TIE fighter would have very similar firepower.
Yeah.
Obviously, the guns that are shooting off the Millennium Falcon go bang, 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 and they blow up, and then they get shot, and they just sort of rock around in their ship. So you got to assume that they've got a bigger.
You got an A, a B, an E, a V.
They've got to have
X, Y.
a stronger ion cannon than the other people, and then I reckon the cannons.
I don't even know what an A-wing is. I've watched
And then I
those.
reckon the cannons that are even stronger than that would be the ones in Hoth, where they were loading them up. And then I think your strongest one is your Death Star.
Okay. Well, I don't think that's.
I don't know if I got the technical names.
What is the rule of two?
Rule of two is a Padawan and a master. There should always be.
Okay. What is the name of Boba Fett's ship?
The Fettmobile.
Who is Chancellor Palpatine's Sith alter ego?
He's the Emperor.
Okay.
But then it's Darth Sidious.
Okay. Who is Lando Calrissian?
Lando Calrissian is a scoundrel. And he lives in the Cloud City, and for the most part, he's a businessman. He doesn't want to get tied up in empire type of shit, imperial rubbish. But when push comes to shove, Lando Calrissian steps up and he does the right thing. He also lost the Millennium Falcon in a poker game. He's good friends with Han, but he doesn't trust him either. The amount of Eskimo brother shit that those two have done is off the hook.
Okay. Here's an easy one. What planet does Luke Skywalker grow up on?
Tatooine.
Here's a hard one. If the Death Star was a globe,
Yeah.
what cardinal direction do the X-Wings fly in the trench run for A New Hope? And where is the exhaust port? So, like, if it was a globe, where on the globe would the exhaust port be located that they shoot the, missile down?
Well,
and then which way would they be going down the trench?
They're going.
Imagine this is a globe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going around the circumference like that in the trench,
Yeah.
clockwise.
Yeah.
And the port is because they fly through. The port is underneath the bullet dome bit.
So on the top. So it'd be
No, it's underneath in the middle.
So it'd be the equator.
Yeah.
Okay. What is Chewbacca's dad's name?
Oh, you only see him once in the Christmas special, and he's wearing some VR porn thing because he's watching like some other female Wookiee or something like that, and I can't remember his name. It's something. Hello?
What the heck just
What was
happened?
that?
Jack.
So Chewbacca's dad's name?
I've forgotten his name.
Okay.
But I could draw you a picture.
Okay. Last question. I'll name the character, and you tell me what color is their lightsaber.
Okay.
Luke Skywalker.
Blue.
Darth Vader.
Red.
Yoda.
Because you only see it in the prequels. I believe he has a green.
Obi-Wan.
Oh, no. No, he has a green.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi has a blue.
Mace Windu.
Purple.
Okay. All right, Dan. How did Jim do on his knowledge of Star Wars? I know he knows a lot more than that, but on the knowledge of the questions I asked him, 0 through 10, 10 being the best. How do you do?
I would give him an 8.5. I would give him an 8.5. I think he did very, very well. I mean, a lot of them he was right on the nose on, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. The ones that are really impossible, look, I've written an entire Star Wars character encyclopedia book where I had to name all these obscure characters that you probably never even heard of, and I didn't know a couple of those. Like the one with in the Jabba's question, I recognized the majority of the names, but I couldn't tell you that. So I think that was a pretty challenging, almost unanswerable question.
I couldn't even pronounce them, so it's not even fair. I'm just like reading. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. So I found some website, and I'm sorry, Jim. All right, how you doing confidence, Kelly?
I felt like you tripped yourself up a little bit on confidence because
You wanted to kill it.
there were things like on the tip of your tongue. So I'm going to give you a 7.
What is the name of the fucking Christmas?
Are we going to give him the answers?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna do that right now.
Okay, good.
I'll give you a 5, Jim. We're gonna make you Luke Skywalker anyways, because I know you love Star Wars.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through the answers now. Who created Star Wars? It was George Lucas. That is correct, right, Dan?
Absolutely.
And then the first year that
I think they should give it back to him.
yeah.
I was anti-George for a bit. I was a bit like, I didn't mind the prequels. I didn't like when he kept on fucking with the making it better each time. When he took the no away from Darth Vader, where he went
McClunky.
or when they gave him a no. Sorry, when they gave him a no, right? When Luke Skywalker's being throwing, and then he throws the Emperor down the shaft, right? There was a few things I didn't like. It's just like, I know that he was a guy who's a perfectionist who was just like, he'd watch it and then he'd get two in his head and think, oh, I could fix this, I could fix that, and he should have just left it alone a little bit. But now, after the what I believe to be abortions of movies, these last three, holy hell, I was so angry at all three.
You didn't like 7?
I didn't mind 7 because it was just The New Hope done again. Right,
And Harrison was in it. And Harrison was great.
And Harrison was great in it, but there was missed opportunities. Do you know that I did the last acting scene with Carrie Fisher before she went off to film Star Wars? So she was on set and she was like, I have to lose weight. And I said, why, Carrie? And she goes, I got to play a fucking princess next week.
She was in Jim's sitcom.
She was in my sitcom for an episode.
Really?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, she was the best, man. She was so much fun. She had loads of Star Wars questions. Because the whole episode was about me getting Me Too'd by a female executive who kept on, and this is a quote, kept on asking me to lick her pussy. That was the whole thing, the episode. She says it over and over and again. And so I had one of the original 1977 comic books of the original Star Wars, one of these books, they're like little collectible type of things. And she signed it for me, and she went, she wrote, to the Dark Lord of Extreme Foreplay, Jim Jefferies, love Carrie Fisher. And I have that hanging on my wall.
That's pretty cool.
Now, in your podcast, I don't know, do you dive into that? Like your own opinions about where the movies went, the last 3 and stuff like that, or is that?
Well, he has to get
been
guests on his podcast. He doesn't want to alienate.
That's what I'm
too
saying.
many.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of pretty cool guests on, but I've been pretty vocal that I didn't like The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, I got to go to the premiere, so I was happy with that, and that was when I got to meet Harrison. But the movie itself had no direction. It was really irritating. I actually think Episode 7 is fun. And I think The Last Jedi, the 8th one, I think it's maybe one of the best made Star Wars movies.
This is the thing. People hated The Last Jedi. I like The Last Jedi much more. The Rise of Skywalker.
It's great.
When
it's terrible.
When it's just
unwatchable.
Unwatchable. Just going, the Emperor's back. Why? Because we fucking said so. And he's
lazy.
like, I have died before. And then it's like the whole film, they're searching for this thing to find out where the Emperor is, and they have to search for this special emblem or something like that. And then all of a sudden, all the rebels just show up. They just show up to this place that was hard to find. And then the Emperor, this is why they're making the powers too big. Now he's using his lasers, his thunderbolts, to fucking tear down ships. Get the fuck out of here. I was
And
angry the whole
the
film.
characters are completely different in 9 than they are in 7 and 8, that they spent so much time crafting and honing, and they don't even seem like the same people.
Yeah.
There's plus silly things with light speed, and it frustrated me.
Yeah, it wasn't a good film.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I've
I
only-
didn't know. That's why I asked Dan. I didn't know. If
I've
you have to,
only
like, tread
I've only
lightly.
seen it twice because I gave it a second view on a plane. I saw it in Greece with you.
We saw it in Greece,
We saw it
yeah.
in Greece.
Yeah,
And
we were in Greece.
maybe because it was in Greek, it was harder. But we saw,
Conceivable.
yeah, we saw it. We saw it in Greece. But look, I as I said, I don't mind the prequels. I
love the prequels.
I
They're
still
great.
think The Phantom Menace is a banger of a movie. And when I went and saw it in the cinema several times, I think that lightsaber fight with Darth Maul is the quintessential one, the best one.
Great.
Yep,
The
for
best
sure.
one. The pod racing is good. Sure, the Gungans go on a little bit long, and you're really just watching a cartoon for a lot of it. You're just watching a Pixar film for a lot when they have their war with the droids and all that type of stuff. But
Yeah, but Ahmed Best, who was Jar Jar, man, he went through hell with people, just treated him horribly when he was given a role and given a part. So he played his ass off to create this character. And now I don't know if you ever hear him in interviews or things like that, or maybe you know Ahmed Best, but he is incredibly intelligent. He teaches film at USC. He's like, just listening to him is like a master class in film. The guy,
Oh, I
is
didn't know he
amazing.
taught there. That's where I went to school. Damn.
Yeah,
Missed
he's
that.
awesome. He's awesome.
Wait, so I know that character was really.
a lot of people didn't
panned.
like because
Yeah.
they thought the voice was racist.
But so he
and then-
personally
Which
went
is
through,
crazy.
He personally.
Oh,
through-
he went through terrible treatment and alienation and threats, and he was treated terribly.
And Jake
Absolutely
Lloyd had
terrible.
a hard time, who played Anakin.
Oh, it's terrible.
He had a hard time as well afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh wow. The Skywalker saga, the story, Jim said, the story of the family of the Skywalkers, Anakin Skywalker's mother being inseminated, and then Kelly couldn't write that name there. But yeah, talk to us about what that is, the Skywalker saga.
I mean, he nailed it. The midichlorians concept is the notion that you can take someone's blood test and you can determine from that blood test how strong you are in the Force, which actually back in when the original film was created, Obi-Wan Kenobi says, the Force is an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, penetrates us, binds the galaxy together. So he says it's created by all living things. So the notion of midichlorians is already baked into that. So the mythological conceit of this film, because George wanted to create a modern mythology, is that you've got a mysterious birth, which Joseph Campbell later talks a lot about in The Hero's Journey, which he maps out kind of how 14 steps to how a story is told. So mythologically, it tracks. And then it's episodes 1 through 9. The Clone Wars is thrown in there because that's a big part of Anakin's story as well. And then I think because they ran out of episodes, and now we're kind of in this sort of holding pattern until we get to go back to theaters and see a movie again.
I love the TV shows. I'm a big fan
Andor
of Andor.
is-
Mando's great. Andor's great.
Andor's great.
The finale you guys are going to love comes out tomorrow.
You've seen it already?
I have.
My son loves Mandalorian. We love Boba
great.
Fett.
I-
I thought, you know what I thought was a banger of a film that got no credit was Solo.
I love Solo.
I
love
loved Solo.
Alden Ehrenreich nailed it as Han Solo. He was great.
I thought, and it was
Fun movie.
It was almost because something else had come out that people didn't like, or was the Last Jedi had come out, or something.
I
it
don't
was those
remember why they, but there was kind of like this like silent protest against it. or
Because they
something,
removed
but, yeah.
the two directors from it and Ron Howard replaced, so it was already kind of.
I don't
Oh,
give
yeah,
a
the-
shit. It was a banger.
Oh, I don't give a shit either.
It was
Rogue
fun.
One's a
Ron Howard did
banger
great.
as well. Rogue
great.
One's a hell of a movie.
Yeah, so I've been telling anyone that listen about it. I think Andor, just as a standalone television show, is up there with any television show I've ever seen. Like, forget Star Wars. It's just like,
It's great.
and because I'm
It's
a big
very
Tony
realistic.
Gilroy fan. I
Yeah.
loved Rogue One, but I like Michael Clayton and everything else. And it's just, and then you'll see it's like some of the episodes are written by Bo Willimon, or I'm not saying his name right, but the
Yep.
House of Cards. The level of writing and acting in Andor is like,
But
off the
it's
charts.
a little bit inaccessible for kids. My son's
Yeah.
finding it hard without the lightsabers to get into Andor.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even showing it to my 9-year-old because there's just, I mean, in the first
Brothel.
5 minutes, you've got a shot to the face, point blank. You
Yeah,
got,
but I'm not a good dad.
that's actually why we're here to have a little intervention.
Yeah, but yeah, and there is not a lot of there's obviously no lights there, but there's still like even in that last episode when he's with the tractor beam and the ship and stuff. Like, there's still some cool, really cool like kind of Star Wars esque that you're used to.
I'm an episode behind.
Okay, sorry. You'll see it. It's cool. It's still cool when you see it. All right, you said this is a meaty question though. The origin story of George Lucas with regards to George Lucas and Star Wars. Jim touched on his first movie THX, a student sci-fi film. Then he made American Graffiti, and then I guess he got inspired by Flash Gordon. Is that close to what?
Absolutely, yeah, you nailed that. I mean, he loved those serials. He actually wanted to make Flash Gordon, but the rights. I think his fee was he was going to get 10% of the profit, and then the producer at the time was going to get 90% of the profit, and so obviously that was not the way to go. So then he created his own story, and yes, he made THX 1138 with an actor by the name of Robert Duvall. You may have heard of. And then, of course, American Graffiti blew up, and that was what gave him kind of the cachet to have someone take a chance on him in 20th Century Fox. And Alan Ladd Jr. ultimately were the ones who gave him the money, and he had to go back 5-6 times to get money. He ended up in the hospital from exhaustion. A lot of the special effects weren't done. He had a terrible time. It's amazing. It's interesting that both he and Steven Spielberg were best friends. Their major films that exploded, Star Wars and Jaws, there were so many problems and technical problems and budgetary concerns. And they were way past schedule, but they both still become household names because they stuck to their visions.
Yeah, I got to imagine, like, especially back when that was made, just when showing that script, people were like, what? Like,
They went through so many drafts.
People didn't
rewritten
think,
so many times.
When the actors were making the film, they didn't think it was any good.
I just
It's
saw
true.
Because it's very hard without James Earl Jones when you got like a northern
I
British
just saw that
bloke.
clip recently. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you just got the British bloke going, oh, and then also the Wookiees chatting.
Yeah. But I just saw the
That
clip
old
where,
man's a fool.
I just saw the clip where Darth Vader's where the actor's voice is Darth Vader and not James Earl Jones, which I knew that James Earl Jones wasn't in there. But I never even thought about that with the actors. But did that guy think his voice was actually going to be?
I think he did at the time, yeah.
He did, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's.
He was
gotta
really
be-
put off by that.
Yeah.
That he didn't.
Yeah, he probably was like, hey, he brought his parents to go see the film. Check this out. That
He
it
was
like,
a bodybuilder, and he fit the look. Obviously,
He'd done Frankenstein or something before, one of those type of things. Like he was a great big bloke. But he made a good living going around to Comic-Cons and taking photos
he
with
did.
people. He did just fine. Don't worry about him.
I'm not worried about him. Who was Chewbacca? That was an easy one. Wookiee was best friends, maybe lovers with Han Solo. What, do you got some insight?
Maybe like one of my favorite, one of the
That's
comic
new.
books is the one is the only time that the Star Wars world visits Earth is the Millennium Falcon crashes in Portland, and because Wookiees live to be like 800 years old or however they might even live to be older. Han Solo dies of old age, and then fucking Chewbacca just hangs around the bush.
Bigfoot?
He's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And I think they find the skeleton of the remains of Indiana Jones too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In the
That's
same
all tied
story.
in. And is that, Jim, you said George Lucas drove around with a big dog in his seat and people thought it was funny?
He has a big
Yeah,
dog. Yeah,
a
big dog.
Malumet, right?
Yeah.
I believe that was the type of animal it was.
So this question, that's really hard. Should I even ask it or should I can just skip it?
You can just you can tell them what the answer
It
is.
was 4 of these following characters were not hanging out in Jabba's palace when Luke came to rescue his friends in the third Star Wars movie, Return of the Jedi. And it was Atark, who was a puppet, was never made to set. Arika was Mara Jade in disguise in the expanded universe. Saelt Marae, Yakface, appears on the barge only. And then Ula, dead, eaten by Rancor at that point. So, sorry.
I
Got
think
it wrong.
that Boba Fett escaped the Rancor, the Starlack pit. I believe he escaped that too easily. That pissed me off.
Oh, when you saw it in
it's like
Book of
you're meant
Boba
to be
Fett?
digested over a long, long time.
But he's got the
And he
best
just
car,
sort of,
man.
He just sort of jetpacks out of there and digs a bit.
he was pretty beat up though.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're
he
like,
needed a lot of Bactine to cure that.
like all the clones were Maoris. They were all cloned from him.
Yeah, because he's from New Zealand.
Yeah.
The actor, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Not Boba Fett.
Well, the little boy who played Boba Fett's son, who has the thickest New Zealand accent.
Daniel
ever.
Logan.
The thickest New Zealand accent you could have. Dad, what's going on? Dad, there's some person here to talk to you. It was thick, man. It was thick.
Okay, so all the stuff.
Because they filmed those 2 movies in Sydney. Oh. The first two are the
Sydney
three.
Siders.
Well, there was a big boom in the movie industry in Australia because the Australian dollar was in the toilet, and they'd made in that studio already Superman Returns. I think they might have made that afterwards, but they'd made Moulin Rouge was a big film that they did just before that. And they had at that stage the biggest green stage on earth at Fox Studios in Sydney, and they believed that was going to become like a Universal Studios thing with rides and everything, and that never panned out. But they opened the Comedy Store there at the same location.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The Sydney Comedy Store is the location when they made Star Wars. Because like Hayden Christensen was hanging out in Bondi the whole time, and I think there was a lot of women in town that were very unhappy when they stopped making those films.
All right, so here, name all the movies, all the Star Wars films, and who directed them. Jim was saying, he said George Lucas did the original 3.
He did the prequels.
Oh yeah, he said New Hope. And
He did. Okay, if you want to do them in their numbers, he did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6 was somebody else, and
you
then
say Krishna.
7, 8,
I don't
7,
know
8,
who Krishna
9.
is. Or Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, what's his name? The old bloke with the beard.
Why don't you just tell us who did it? Yeah.
So George wrote episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. He directed 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then episode 5 is directed by Irving Kershner.
See, I wasn't far off.
Written by Lawrence Kasdan, who also wrote The Big Chill and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, is directed by Richard Marquand, who died shortly after he made that, and then that was also written by Lawrence Kasdan. 7, it was written by J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan, and directed by J.J. Abrams, and then 8 is written and directed by
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson, of course, who I think is a genius. Also did Knives Out. And then episode 9 is directed by JJ and written by JJ. And let's see, the other person who wrote that movie, I can't remember, but
I just pulled it up in Wikipedia. Chris Terrio, it says.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
I don't know. I just pulled it up. And then because I was pulling it up, Solo, the movie we were talking about that we liked.
Ron Howard directed it.
What's that?
Actor Chris Lord and what's his
Phil
name?
Lord and
Miller.
Chris Miller.
Chris Miller were the original directors, and then the writer of Solo was Lawrence Kasdan and his son John Kasdan.
Kasdan again.
It was a banger.
Kasdan
Yep.
came
It was a
back.
banger.
Yeah, he's like the muse for Han Solo. And then Rogue One is directed by it's written by Henry Gilroy, who's done a lot of the Andor stuff. He's the executive producer, and then director of that. Oh gosh, I can picture him. He did the one of the newer Godzillas, and it was terrible.
I got his name here. Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards, yes,
Yeah.
What's the name of the crystals? I can't move on until I know.
We're getting
The
to it.
Kyber crystals.
Kyber, Kyber, and you're right. They fuel the Death Star's laser too.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
The
Yeah.
Kyber crystals. So that-
Kyber
Chris
crystals.
Columbus was not involved. He was involved in the first 2 Harry Potters.
that's really good. So where do the Kyber crystals come from? That's got to be a good planet.
Well, they get mined. You see them in Rogue One. They were mining them and stuff like that. But it's only a little crystal. And the color of the crystal is the reason that your lightsaber is the color that it is.
Oh yeah, that's what they're getting from that mine. In
Yeah,
Rogue
yeah.
One, and they go.
And they're trying to fuel the Death Star and everything to make the.
They're scattered throughout the universe, and they're very unstable. But the reason that Jedi has it in a lightsaber is because there's something about it allows them to kind of sort of zen out and focus during battle, because it helps them to center themselves through the Force, and that's why they're connected to their Kyber crystal.
There's a banging scene where a deleted scene where Luke is making his new lightsaber.
Yes,
And he
yes.
What movie is that?
and he puts the crystal in. This is Return of the Jedi, and it's before.
But they never put it in.
They
the
never
movie,
put it
yeah.
in. This is before it was loaded into R2D2 for the surprise attack on the barge.
That's cool.
But like he's in like a cave and he puts the crystal in and then
It's super cool.
It's
And,
a really
and
cool
Mark Hamill
scene.
didn't even film that scene for some reason.
Oh, was it just his hands or something?
It was an actor, yeah.
Huh.
I heard a
Another
story
actor.
that Samuel L. Jackson only was going to be in Star Wars if he got to have a purple lightsaber.
Well, he requested a purple lightsaber, and he was he really wanted the part. He really went after the part. He was going to be in regardless of whether he had that lightsaber.
He would have been a
or-
stormtrooper without even his helmet coming off. He didn't care.
He just wanted. He loved Star Wars. He just wanted to be
That's
in.
cool.
Wait a minute, a stormtrooper without his helmet?
Well,
I mean, he
well,
probably
Dan-
he
you
just
know,
said, "I wanna be in it."
Daniel
Okay.
Craig was a stormtrooper.
I remember that.
That's right, in Force Awakens.
Yeah, he was a stormtrooper, but he kept his helmet on, right?
I tell you, I have a full stormtrooper outfit, and I have
Same.
Notoriously, I have little legs. Notorious, this is to me.
I think you've got lovely legs.
Yeah, but I have short legs, so The rest of it fits my torso properly, but the legs thing, I walk like C-3PO in the Stormtrooper outfit. I can't get a good stride because my knee and my thing's clicking together, and I can't sit down. It was the most awkward Halloween of my life. But I sometimes just get it on and just walk around the house in front of me sons for a bit of fun.
It looks cool.
How old are your kids?
10 and 1.
Oh, love it.
What is the Force? Jim said, what binds us, what brings us together and gives us life? It's been bastardized by the last 3 films. You can talk to people, give them Jedi mind tricks, and then you can lift them up, and then you went on a rant. Yeah.
Yeah, they've gone too far.
Yeah. So what is that? How do we describe the Force, Dan?
Yeah. Like I said, it's energy field created by all living things, surrounds us, penetrates us, binds the galaxy together.
Yeah, okay. I know you got upset with the last 3 films because you got upset with Princess Leia, right?
She was flying through the sky.
Yeah, but why couldn't you do that? They never established all.
Oh,
the
I
things
love
you
that.
couldn't-
Think
you
of it
couldn't
this
do.
way.
Yeah,
You know how you know in the original Bill Bixby when that adrenaline kicks in. It's like if you're the daughter of Anakin Skywalker and your brother's the most powerful Jedi who ever lived, you better be able to sort of instinctively reach out to the Force to survive.
Yeah.
I guess.
I didn't mind that stuff because you're coming from a place where you're saying you think you know all the stuff the Force can do, and I'm like, well, we don't know all the stuff it can do, so it
Yeah.
could
No
do
one
some
knows.
of this
They're
stuff.
still
Yeah.
writing it. Yeah.
Yeah, because even in the Mandalorian, when like they
Yoda knew all the shit it could do.
you think Yoda knew everything?
Yoda fucking knew. Don't worry about that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, lift up a few rocks. Good. Let it.
Yeah, but that was Luke.
Yeah, Luke was good, man.
Yeah, I know he was. And that you know what I didn't mind. I know you get upset with the last 3 movies, but then you were saying that what the thing that bothered me the most was Admiral Akbar's death.
Yeah, that upset Forrest
Unceremonious.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like since my youth, I've followed Admiral Akbar, and he's been an important character. Even if you're not in Star Wars, right? It's a trap. It's just like been this meme. Like, even if you're not in the Star Wars, he's been a meme. He's been part of pop culture. And then like, oh yeah, Admiral Akbar died. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like,
I agree. I forgot about that. Yeah, that pissed me off too.
Can we also agree that Admiral Akbar and his species, you'd have to keep them wet, wouldn't you?
Mon Calamari. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to give him a spray bottle.
Yeah, like they couldn't be out in the sun, those lot. They have to be in a cold environment in a damp outfit.
what is this species? What's Admiral Akbar's species?
Mon Calamari.
Yeah, calamari, yeah.
Of course, it's calamari.
Yeah, because remember in
on, Forrest.
in Mandalorian, he went to that calamari island, and there was like they were just
yeah,
they
that
were
was
just
awesome.
serving chowder out of tubes.
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't know that was called
Like that?
calamari.
I feel like because of that, they're all Bostonians, the calamari people.
Baked beans.
Hey, best part of my day is like, yeah,
You know it's a trap.
it's a trap, yo. I was really pissed off, and I know that they introduced. I don't remember her name. The actress is Laura Dern, but I know they introduced her and made her kind of the hero in that thing. But I thought that could have been Admiral Akbar's scene if they wanted it to be, where he's like, "I will do this and sacrifice," because he was. To me, he was such a important character, and an important sub character in the movie. But anyways, that's just me. I was very upset about Admiral Akbar.
So I had 2 auditions for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, right? And I did one of them very well, and I got a call back. I didn't get the part, but I got a call back, and then I got they offered me another audition to have another go. So one of the audition parts was for the Jedi Hunters. It was the Asian guy with the dome on his head who spoke like this. Why are we going to do this? And that, like he did that type of a read.
yeah, who's
right?
that actor?
Oh, you're talking about from Ochia Bastoon?
From Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, from the Jedi Hunter.
Yeah, those 3 people. There was the
Oh,
black
the
guy,
Inquisitors.
the Inquisitors,
Yeah.
So I got an audition as the Inquisitor, and he was going, "You need to settle down." That's how he did the part, and I was like this, and he goes, "If there are any Jedis in that," he did it like that, and I did it like a posh English sort of like. I walked in like he was.
You didn't know, yeah.
Well, my own interpretation. He was like menacing, but my guy was like, "If there are any Jedis, if you could please just give us a call." I did it a bit Basil Fawlty, right?
That's pretpretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah, and so I didn't get that, and then I got another audition for the part that Kamal
Kamal Nanjiani.
Kamal Nanjiani had. So
really?
I got an audition for that role.
That was a more comedic role too.
And
though.
obviously they wanted a comedian for that. And he
Yeah.
was probably always getting the part, but I had a go. And it came back with my agents, and so I had a choice, right? So the opening scene, they come in, and he's meant to be like a Jedi. So I did like
fake. Yeah,
he's a fake
posing as a
Jedi. He's like this. He's like they're going. I'm feeling something. The Force is coming. You must leave soon. Please don't ever speak of my name again. You must leave safe. I was doing it like a bit Obi-Wan Kenobi type thing, right? And then when Obi-Wan Kenobi comes in and puts a blaster in his face, I went back to Australia and I went, oh no, oh okay. Because obviously when he was a con man, he was British. When he was normal, he was Australian. I thought this was a funny choice. In
that
fact,
makes sense. That's clever.
I was dead happy with the audition. I think I did it with you, Jack, didn't I?
You do all my auditions.
Yeah.
We do them all together.
So I thought it was a good idea. I thought I did really
Yeah.
funny and all that. Not my agent, my manager, and the people from Star Wars, when it was terrible, you changed accent halfway through.
That's
the
point.
They just thought I was a
Yeah.
bad actor.
Changed accents halfway. I didn't know that was your note.
Yeah. They went, we don't get it. You didn't even keep the accent all the way. I go,
my
yeah,
God.
when he got caught, he became an Australian bloke. Not enough Australians.
Too
in
good
there.
for Star
That
Wars.
sucks
Jim.
because if they had known that beforehand, you wonder if they would have thought it was brilliant.
Well,
Like,
I cried bigotry. I was like this, you're not allowed to be Australian. You're not allowed to be Australian in Star Wars. And then I remember the young Boba Fett. Hello, did.
I can promise you on Coffee with Kenobi, we would have pointed out that once you were busted, you had to change accents because that was part of your acting.
Yeah, you get it.
Absolutely.
I thought that was a funny idea.
I
that
think
he was
that's a great
that he
idea.
was
That's
super
cool, yeah.
Australian and then he was posh the other time, but alas, I did not get
Run
the
it by
role.
Dan next time you get an audition.
Yeah.
Have you been in anything, Dan? Have you been in any Star Wars movies, TV shows, anything?
I was in a Target Star Wars commercial because I use Star Wars as I teach Shakespeare. So they custom made an X-Wing thing for me. They had me send in my measurements and they sent them over to Japan and like they airmailed this thing over to me and I was on this massive green screen set and did a lot of cool stuff like that.
Sounds
that's
awesome.
awesome.
I when I was a kid watching Star Wars, obviously very important. I'm like, what age are you, Dan?
I am 50.
Okay, so I'm 5 years younger than you, but we're similar type of age, we were enjoying it as kids and that sort of stuff. Now, in Australia, it used to be that now movies all come out on the same day, all around the world, right? Sometimes they use Australia as a test audience. Like we get a movie a couple of months earlier, and then if the movie doesn't do great, they re-edit it a little bit before they release it to the rest of the world. They use this as a test thing, right? But Star Wars is always the whole world. Now, it used to be that once, when everything was on film canisters, so the rest of the world would see movies, and once you were done with them, then Australia got the films. They just sent them down to you. So I would know that Return of the Jedi was coming out for fucking months, but there was no internet or anything like that. All I had was all the toys way before the movie and all the lunch boxes and all the things and all that type of stuff. And my brother had like a picture of Han Solo and he was shooting a gun, but the bullet was still coming out and we were convinced that Han Solo had become a Jedi in the next film and that was like an important thing to us. Like, look at the fucking picture. He's holding a lightsaber.
Oh, you thought it was a lightsaber? It was a bullet gun? Who was Yoda?
And there'd always be one prick kid who went to America on fucking school holidays and came back and ruined it for all of us.
Oh,
Who was Yoda? Jim said a powerful Jedi that came from the Dagobah system.
that's a grand slam right there.
What race is Yoda?
No one knows. That is something that George wanted to not ever be revealed to keep the mystery alive, and Lucasfilm has respected that so far.
And how much of a banger of an idea was Baby Yoda? I know he's the child; he's not called Baby
Genius.
Yoda. But it's going back to having an actual live puppet. People can act with puppets. People can have empathy for a puppet. It's very hard
A
to have.
$5 million puppet.
Yeah.
Wait, it costs $5 million, baby.
$5 million.
And there's only
Yep.
one. Is there only one, baby?
What?
Like,
I don't know. I would assume they've got like something for other shots.
Most
but
of that
there's-
money would have been
yeah.
spent in the engineering and the technology to get there.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
like
still.
he's not 5 minutes. He's not diamond encrusted.
No.
Inside,
There's a lot.
diamonds
There's a lot of
inside.
working parts.
but
yeah, that first
They were
scene-
going to do it CGI, and then what's this guy? The name who plays the client. He's the director.
Favreau.
Chuck Favreau.
No, the director. He's a director of like independent films. He plays
The guy. He's the documentary guy.
Yeah, I can
Werner
picture him.
Herzog.
Yes. He was the one who said, "Don't be a coward. Don't use CGI. Use a puppet. Use a puppet. That's like the classic, and you can make it come to life."
He's the one that
and
said
they went for
Crazy.
it.
I tell you what, my wife has no interest in Star Wars, but she's in love with Baby Yoda.
Yeah, no.
My wife, same way.
Yeah, and
Same way.
she was like, and then I was like, she when Baby Yoda goes off with Luke Skywalker, she goes, "I'm not watching the next series of Mandalorian. If there's no Baby Yoda, I don't want to watch it." And then like in Boba Fett, when Baby Yoda decides to go back to the Mandalorian, he's in that little plane at the back in his little dome, and I said to my wife, I said, "He's going to be in the next season of the Mandalorian," and she's, "Oh,
Absolutely.
No, but also he was in Boba Fett. So yeah.
yeah," but she didn't watch Boba Fett. I had to just fill her in that Baby Yoda's back.
Show her those 3 episodes that he's in, because I think
great.
that really
They're bangers.
brings it all together.
Yeah, because that first and it's like and it's the same thing because Bianca we watched The Mandalorian together and she wasn't in the Star Wars but yeah, that first episode when he's revealed, you're like, yeah, this is good. Even like no matter
It's very cute.
Yeah,
It's very cute.
yeah, there you go. You even know you see. Yeah, and you're not even in the Star Wars. You know he transcended.
My nephews have the dolls.
I know,
They-
but
Yeah,
he
they're-
transcended.
the
yeah.
toys.
Yeah.
If you've ever been in a Walmart, you know who Baby
Yeah,
Yoda is.
exactly.
Yeah, because I remember when they made The Phantom Menace, and I was in university at the time, and the Jar Jar Binks merchandise wasn't flying off the shelf.
No,
Weird.
And they went for it. We had a very hot summer in Perth. I was in Perth, and I remember we bought an inflatable backyard swimming pool, which was a Jar Jar Binks themed one, because it was like at 50% off.
Yeah.
And we'd sit out the back on a hot day just with a tap, just a hose in the pool, sitting in our Jar Jar Binks inflatable swimming pool.
So they don't know what race he is. They don't know where he's from originally or anything. So same thing with the baby Yoda.
Nothing's ever been said.
It was the idea behind the Dagobah system that it's so murky an atmosphere that it'd be hard for them to search for him through the Force because of the layer outside. I've heard theories on this, because why did he go to the Dagobah system to hide out? Like, is it because there's not much life forms there? They go, there's only a few life forms, some animals or whatever.
Well, the nice thing is there's a ton of life forms, but there's so many, microscopic to different swimming creatures and flying things, so that it would be hard to sense him through the Force, because that's a planet that's strong in the Force anyway. But there's no technology and there's no civilization there, so it would be like there's no the Empire can't mine that because there's no natural resources that they could use to destroy.
So they're not looking for anything there. And then it would be like a rainforest. There'd be so many life forms. It'd be like, I don't know.
It'd be like a swamp or a sewer. Why bother?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. There is only one little person who appears in all 3 original trilogy Star Wars films as different races. What's his name and what 3 characters does he portray? Did you know this? Or
I did.
Okay. Jim said Kenny Baker. Is that correct?
That's a good guess. No, it's Jack Purvis.
Was he also in Time Bandits?
He is. Yep,
Right.
You got it.
All right.
Love time.
Well, they are on time.
You're right. He was
Well,
a
they're-
Jawa. He was the head Jawa. I remember that. He was an Ugnaught. And I know he was one of the Ewoks, but I can't remember which one.
It says here he was Chief Jawa, and then Chief Ugnaught and Tebow in Return of the Jedi. Which
Oh,
is,
yeah.
yeah. I get
Kenny Baker was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, and really funny. Like really. He has a great
He played
self-awareness.
In R2-D2, he's
Yeah.
the dwarf in R2, he was a stand-up comedian. The northern British one. Yeah,
He and Anthony Daniels did not get along.
Anthony Daniels, C-3PO didn't do him. He famously said, I get in the outfit when the dwarf gets in the trash can.
Wait, that's what C3 did.
Yeah.
They didn't get along?
Yeah, they didn't get along, no.
That's,
No,
I don't want to
they-
know that because it seems
So
like
sad.
they're like best
That's
friends.
bad. Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, wow. Okay, and then speaking of that, how many languages is C3PO fluent in? Jim said 5,000?
Yeah, he did. That's a little off. I'm no math major, but I believe it's 6 million forms of communication.
Oh, yeah, no. It's
6
miles off.
million.
Miles off.
It's pretty good.
And then he doesn't know how to speak fluent Ewok. Get the fuck out.
I thought he did know Ewok.
No, he does.
He has pidgin Ewok. He goes, this is a very rare dialect, blah, blah, blah.
He knew enough, though.
Pigeon.
Yeah.
He knew enough, though.
Yeah, not good. He didn't really know it.
He knew enough to get him out of there. He was
Enough to have fucking where's the barber
He
shop.
he retold the whole story with the sound effects.
It's the same as you speaking Spanish.
No. He's better at it than I was
C-3PO
at
is just
Spanish.
not all cracked up.
Okay. What is the name of the Death Star's original commander? Lieutenant forgot his name. That's what Jim
Yeah,
said.
forgot his
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Grandma Tarkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right about the actor from the classic horror films.
Yeah, Tarkin.
That's-
I
yeah.
thought I smelt you on the way into this thing, or whatever she goes on. And then, like, if you watch, so the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and they talk to Leia, they're like, she's on Alderaan, and they're just like, you are going to grow up to be the greatest leader, and all this type of stuff, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and in 10 years, you're going to be responsible for the whole planet blowing up underneath your charge. Ah, she did a shocking job.
Okay. What is the name of the creature that lives in the trash compactor on the original Death
Yeah,
Star?
what is that?
Oh, that is called. Oh my gosh, I knew it until you asked me because I had it as a toy. It comes with the Death Star. It's Dianoga.
Oh, yeah, that sounds familiar. Because I saw
At Galaxy's Edge at Disney World and Disneyland, there's a drinking fountain over by one of the main restrooms, and if you hit the thing, the Dianoga will pop up and there's
that's
two
cool.
behind it. Yeah.
I tell you
really?
what's fun in Disneyland. They have Coca-Cola and Sprite, and they make them all Star Warsy. They're the only
Yeah.
place you
I
can
got
go
them
in the
right
world.
back there.
Wait, what do
Yeah.
you mean they make them Star Wars?
I'll show you.
The label
They
is
got
all
unique
thermal
bottles.
detonators.
like you know it's thermal detonators. You still know it's Coca-Cola. You still know it's Sprite, but you buy it because it's like this is a fun Coca-Cola or
Here you
a
go,
fun
right here.
Sprite.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
that's
and you
cool.
just drink it out of that.
Yeah, so you know that's
Oh, it's a
Coca-Cola.
different- yeah.
Yeah, it's Coca-Cola, and that's how you get
And
your Coke.
TSA they didn't really talk with TSA. So when people were first going to Galaxy's Edge, they weren't letting them bring
Oh
it
my
on the
gosh.
plane because it
Oh,
looks
that
like.
sucks.
Yeah.
Problem.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
look good for TSA, yeah.
But now it's okay.
What's got the ingredients?
Calories.
But the Sprite's the same. They got a green one. It's very,
And a
very,
Diet
very
Coke as
cool.
well.
Very cool.
I don't know if this is the dinner party fact, but do you know what Luke Skywalker's name was originally going to be?
I don't know.
Oh, I do know this. I do know
yeah.
this.
This is a bonus question in my George Lucas class at USC.
Yeah, it was Luke. No, I've forgotten.
Do you know what the
Star Killer.
Star
Boom.
Killer. Star Killer.
That's why they call it that in the what do you
Force
call the last
Awakens.
three.
Or no.
Star
yeah,
Killer
yeah,
Base.
Yeah, Star Killer. That's exactly right.
Okay. How old is Yoda when he dies? Jim said 500.
900.
When you live to 900 years, you look so good. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, 900 is too long.
Also, you know what I don't like about the new Star Wars is when someone comes back and they're part of the Force, all of a sudden, like, Yoda becomes like Don Rickles. Right? And he's there making jokes, burning down fucking buildings and shit. It's like the cunt's not dead at all. But it used to be like they could come back for a second and just go, Luke, go to the Dagobah. They could pass on a text message back in the day. they had about a tweet worth of information they could give you, and now they sit down and chat with you. Now, like they come back from the Force, they sit, so what are we doing this weekend?
Yeah, they got FaceTime. First it was
But
texting.
the cell reception on Hoth is no bueno.
Yeah,
No, I honestly, I think, and I think I could probably back this up. I feel like the stronger you are in the Force, the easier it is to see people someone who is a Force ghost. I mean, he barely knew anything about the Force when he saw Obi-Wan and Hoth, but by the time he gets to the Last Jedi, he can have long conversation because they're both very strong in the Force.
Yeah,
And why did Liam Neeson just show up at the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi for a second? I've always been here.
He was too
Hitting
busy
people
making
with a
bad movies
crotch.
nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, he was
Taken
getting
3.
his daughter from the sex traffickers. Yeah.
Taken 42, I think. We're doing now.
I would love to see Taken in Star Wars universe with him.
This particular set of skills.
I think that it's Star Wars is such a good sandbit to play in that I don't think there's any end to this now. I think they can deviate off into any timeline or any character, whatever they want now. I know that like Disney will ride this until it's dead, but I hope they do.
I mean, I'm looking on.
I hope so. I really like having
I really enjoy it. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
I mean, this is just on Wikipedia. I'm not like pointing. It just says there's an untitled Star Wars film with Taika that he's doing.
Well, they've been working on that for a while.
But
So.
Taika directed a lot of the Mandalorians.
Yeah. Then it
He
says
did, yeah, he did one of them, and then and of course he did all the Marvel
Rogue
stuff.
Squadron sounds like it's animated, but I don't know if it is.
Rogue Squadron was something Patty Jenkins was working on. That was inspired by her dad was a fighter pilot in the military, but that is not happening right now.
Okay.
I want a documentary
Nothing.
behind the music about the band that's in the cantina.
Figuring Dan and the modal nodes.
Yeah, that blue elephant that plays the piano.
Wait, that's their
Oh,
name?
that's-
What's their name?
Figrin Dan, D apostrophe A N, and the molded nodes. But then the blue guy he's talking about, Max Rebo, he's in Return of the Jedi.
That
in
guy
Jabba's
rocks.
palace.
Oh yeah, he's in Jabba's thing.
He's in Boba Fett, and I think he ends up getting killed.
Yeah,
No!
he's with that skinny one that they went to CGI on. The lips
Oh,
went
size noodles.
Oh, yeah.
size noodles, yeah. But it was better when they were just dancing underneath with sticks and all that type
Agreed.
of stuff.
That was a good song though.
But I'm making the Lego Cantina as we speak. Me and my son
Oh, really?
are building
Nice.
that. So
as you speak, you've been working on that for like
for
a year
since Christmas.
Hey, that's pretty heavy stuff. I mean, that's a lot of
it's
pieces.
an 18 bagger, man.
Absolutely.
Jack, you're welcome. It's always sitting there ready to go.
I just don't want to take the joy away from your child.
No, he just wants to see it done. Anyway, but I've just made the stage with the band. I've put the band together.
I saw the band. It looks great.
Yeah, the band's together.
You gotta have my nephew come over and do it. He'll put it together so fast.
Which
one, Jack?
Alex.
Alex? Okay, Alex. and
He's
I
a
are the same.
whiz.
You know what I've always thought is like that's the cantina where they say, "Oh, this is where the roughest people are in the whole galaxy," and they're listening to that music, jazz,
Space jazz.
Yeah, and these are like, wouldn't it be like metal or something?
It's a long time ago, Forrest. The rock and roll music hasn't even come in. They were doing the fucking Charleston.
Okay.
Well, George Lucas told John Williams he wanted light jazz. That was the mood he was going for in the cantina.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you what's fun about the Lego. Where Han and Guido sit, there's little triggers on the outside so you can press it to make them look like they've gotten shot and they spring out of their seats.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, bit of fun.
You just call him Guido? I like that. Is that like the Italian
He
version?
comes in, he's just like,
Wait,
this.
who's Guido?
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Greedo.
Guido.
Oh, Guido.
I call him Guido. Like, hey, you owe me some money.
Yeah. Speaking of Robert Duvall, yeah.
Yeah.
And Han Solo shot first. We all agree.
Absolutely.
100%.
Why is that?
No question.
That's a big.
That's
a
a
big
big
point
point.
of
Shut
contention.
up!
Big
You don't even
kids,
fucking
shut up.
talk
Get
to
outta
me,
here.
Forrest.
Back in 1997, when they did the special edition, they had Greedo show first because he was afraid that Han Solo would not look like a good guy if he was a murderer. But that's kind of the point.
Yeah, but
even
Han-
like his
Han-
outfit is white with the black vest to indicate that he's sort of in between as far as good versus
Yeah, that was a whole character point. And then,
I know, yeah.
but then like Guido shoots, but he shoots like above his shoulder, like pew, like misses by a mile. He's like 5 feet away from the man, maybe 4 feet, right? And then Han shoots him, but Han originally shot first. The only way you can still get the original movies in any high quality is on the big laser discs. And I still have a Betamax video.
Same here.
Yeah, I still have
Yeah.
a Betamax video of it. Back in the-
Betamax still works great too.
Yeah.
They knew how to make those.
Luke and Leia's mom. You said Natalie Portman, Queen Amidala.
Yep, that's right.
And who played Queen Amidala's decoy?
Oh,
The actress.
Right, yeah, no, I'm asking Forrest. I know you know.
all right.
I don't. I
What-
remember the face. I don't know.
Keira Knightley.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah,
That's
they
right.
look
Pirates
identical.
Karen. They really went.
She was about 16 or something. She was very young.
Yeah, she was very young.
All right. This assuming blaster technology gets better over time, rank these fighters by weapons firepower from weakest to strongest? I have the answer here.
Yeah, go on.
It's
Still-
A-wing is the weakest.
Oh.
What's an A-wing fighter?
They were introduced in Return of the Jedi. They don't really look like a letter A. They're just kind of like
They're just a
traditional-
fighter.
Almost like think of like the Buck Rogers starships. They kind of look like those.
Okay. Then the TIE fighter is the second weakest. Z-95 Headhunter. I'm not familiar with that one either.
That is a ship from Episode 3. It's like with the clones fly.
Okay.
It almost looks like an X-wing. It's white with red.
Oh yeah,
wings
those
on
are
it.
cool. They got like 6 wings.
Yeah.
Then the V-wing, then the X-wing, then the E-wing. Again, don't know that one. Then the Y-wing.
I've never heard of an E-wing.
Then the
I don't know what that is.
then the Y-wing is the one with the wings that fold down.
They're bombers. They're the ones in the original film that are not X-wings.
Okay,
They have a
I was
different
gonna
kind
say
of.
They're like they have like the yellow on it.
All right.
Yep.
Let's rank our Jedis from powerful to weakest, and just don't do one from the comic book that we've never heard. Oh, yeah,
No,
do
no.
whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Weakest to most powerful. Give me the top 10.
Weakest, starting with the weakest. Let's go reverse order.
Yeah,
I'd
go
say
reverse
the-
order. Start with the
The
strongest.
most powerful has to be, I guess you'd have to say Anakin.
Yeah, because Anakin's got a higher midichlorian count than Master Yoda, and that's proven
That's
in
right.
the whole thing. So we'd have to say Anakin. Yeah, okay.
And the technology, when he's Vader, he's still insanely powerful. But since it's not organic, maybe that's why. Boy, I'm a nerd.
But
I'm good
I
with
would
that.
argue that Baby Yoda's more powerful than Anakin, although he never becomes a Jedi because he chooses the Mandalorian life.
Yeah.
But Baby Yoda, for just raw ability,
He's so
Just
tiny.
raw ability, perhaps, yeah. But
Yeah.
you still gotta, the experience weighs into it as well. And then what would you say? You would say
I'd say Anakin,
Yoda, Anakin, Yoda, Luke. I
Luke.
think that's probably, and then Obi-Wan.
You think Mace Windu is less powerful than Obi-Wan?
I do.
Okay, Mace Windu. Okay, Obi-Wan. Okay.
And then I think maybe you go Qui-Gon, perhaps,
Qui-Gon.
or Count Dooku. He was pretty powerful.
Dooku was a very powerful fella. but Dooku, I felt like, was
Love
a
him.
casting error because he was a bit too old to be
I never was convinced that. I
a
was always like, too old.
junior to the Emperor. He was too old. It's like when they voted in Biden. 'Cause he's too old, you see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
I don't know if you've seen Tales of Jedi. I don't know if you're into the animated stuff, but there's 3 great stories about Dooku becoming as he's a Jedi, as he slowly becomes Palpatine's a Sith apprentice. It's pretty good stuff. Really intense storytelling.
Okay.
Your kids would love it.
The rule of 2, Jim said, is Padawan and Master. Is that correct?
It's Sith Lord and Sith apprentice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what is the name of Boba Fett's ship? Is it the Fettmobile?
This is actually pretty controversial. For forever and ever, it was called Slave One.
Oh.
But when the Book of Boba Fett came out, there was a Lego set that came out, and they just called it Boba Fett's Starship. They took out the name Slave One because of the negative connotations associated with that. So it doesn't really have a name anymore.
Oh, what, the number 1 bothers people, does it? Or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
And then Chancellor Palpatine Sith alter ego, is it Darth Sidious?
That's the one.
Yeah, you're doing well, except for Fettmobile. You're doing good.
All right, what is Count Dooku's Sith alter ego? You got this, brother.
Darth.
I'll give you a hint that won't
Hemorrhoidus.
give it away.
Darth Brooks.
Yeah, Darth Brooks.
Think Jurassic Park. Think dinosaur.
Oh, Darth T-Rex.
Darth Tyrannus.
Darth
Darth
Tyrannus.
Tyrannus,
Darth
yeah.
Tyrannus.
They don't really say it very much in the movie.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
they
think
do
it
say
at
it, Darth Tyrannus. See, I also want to know what's going on with Darth Maul and his robot legs in Solo. And now that we're not getting another Solo, they just sort of left that dangling in front of me. And
Well, you got to
irritating.
watch season 4 of Clone Wars that goes into Rebels. There's some good storytelling there.
Well, that's because he was cut. And I feel like every time someone gets cut with a lightsaber, they sort of live because it seems to cortisone the wound.
Yeah.
Cortisone it.
Sure. Oh, cauterize.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah. Maybe
go
there's
back
something
and
wrong with your
fix
headphones. Yeah.
Guido. Who is Lando Calrissian? He's a scoundrel, lives in the Cloud City, businessman who doesn't want to get tied up in rubbish.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose
Scoundrel,
to him
you'd
in a
like
poker
him.
game. Eskimo Brothers on? Yeah.
He's also not Daniel Glover.
Donald?
Donald
Glover. He was one hell of a cool dude. I was in a room with him for the Solo junket stuff, and he walked by me. I thought, that might be the coolest person on the planet. I mean, just the way he walked. He had some swagger.
I thought he was really good in that film, yeah.
He's great.
We got to see that premiere of it at the
I
theater, yeah.
met him one time in Montreal because he was doing the room that I was playing in before. This was just when he was doing Community, and he was doing the room that I was the show after his room. So he'd come off stage, we'd share a dressing room, we'd chat each night, and then I'd go on and do my spot. And I remember thinking, that guy's doing well. He's on a sitcom. Good for him.
Yeah. No, he's on Solo. I mean, not Lando
And has a rap
Calrissian.
career.
Yeah,
too.
he's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing
Atlanta,
everything.
won a bunch of
yeah.
Emmys.
Childish
30 Rock.
Gambino. Man, when I tell my students I got to interview him, they lose their minds.
Yeah,
Yeah, Atlanta. Good
very
show.
successful.
What planet? Where is Lando from? Like, where does he come from?
Where is Lando from? I don't remember.
Okay, sorry.
Billy D. Williams, he was one of the coolest cats, man, in his day.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
he was
for
classified as very handsome. People were very
for
much
sure.
into him.
What planet does Luke Skywalker grow up on? You said Tatooine. That was one of the things in Andor that I was glad because I didn't mind that like we were on Tatooine a lot with Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and all this, but it's like it was cool to be in those new venues, not venues, locations and stuff in Andor. They're just in all these cool areas.
Here's one. I'll test you. Who was Anakin Skywalker's mother's husband? You know, when she remarried, what actor played him?
Oh, the guy who plays Klieg Lars. That's the name of the character, but I don't know the actor's name.
Jack Thompson.
Who's Jack Thompson?
Jack Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Thompson is one of the great Australian character actors, like a Shakespearean level of actor. He
Yeah.
did a wonderful movie, Russell Crowe, called The Sum of Us or whatever. But he's been in so many old war movies in Australia. He's like a really good actor. But like
No
they
kidding.
also had what's his name, Jared Edgerton or whatever, played
Joel.
Oh, Joel Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton played. So there was a whole lot of Australian actors who got little gigs there.
Yeah, and
because
Rogue One was what's his name? He plays the guy. He's like one of them. In Rogue One. Can't remember his name. Gosh, not remember anything. Who's
I
the
just
guy?
want to be
Oh,
I just want to be the
Saw
voice.
Gerrera?
I just want to be a voice
No,
of
he's
a
the
droid.
guy. He comes to he's in the opening scene and he comes to I can't remember. His name.
You talking about the one who's the father of Jen Erso that gets
Yeah, he comes to get Jen Erso's father.
Mads Mikkelsen? Oh, that actor.
Yeah.
What is his name?
He's
He's
Australian
also
too.
in.
Yeah.
He's in the Marvel stuff. He plays
He's
the
in Marvel.
lead
He's
Skrull.
in the Bloodlines on Netflix.
If only there was a way to access
I know.
information easily.
IMDb, everybody, look it up.
Okay, what's the greatest scene in Star Wars history and what's the worst scene in Star Wars history? I have my opinions on both.
Honestly, the greatest scene to me is a tie between when Luke and Vader face off in Cloud City for the first time and says, "The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you are not a Jedi yet." And they're just staring at each other, and it's this black with this incredible silhouette. There's one of the few times there's no music in that movie. But I also think the scene in The Last Jedi when Luke, who we didn't know at the time was a Force projection, faces off against the entire First Order, and they blast him, and he just brushes off his shoulder. I think that's genius.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, I think, the classic Luke, I'm your father, because that blew my mind as a kid. That doesn't blow people's
Yes.
minds anymore because everyone's heard that as such a cliche. So no one would go into the film not knowing this information anymore. Although, like, Darth Vader means father in German, so it's like Dark Father or something.
Which
So-
we know, thank you, Pitch Perfect.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it was like all in front of us and we couldn't tell.
Right.
The Germans. Now.
But
My German was rusty.
I think the worst scene is the bit where they're
Anytime Anakin and Padme talk to each other, it's the worst scene.
Padme
Yeah.
and Anakin
I hate
laying
sand.
in the field and
Yes.
they kiss and they roll 4 or 5 times. Whenever me and my wife, she saw that thing. Whenever we're laying on a picnic blanket or something like that, and I kiss her, me and her roll 4 times over because we think that's what romance is.
Here's a question this is really hard when I find. If the Death Star was a globe, what direction do the X-Wings fly? In the trench? And then where is the exhaust port? So the trench would run north. The exhaust port is located where the Arctic Circle would be, and the trench run is the polar trench, so they're headed north, just so you know.
It was one of those things, like the whole idea that there was a porthole where you could shoot a bullet and the whole thing would blow up. And my whole life, I was just like, put a bit of fucking sheet metal over it.
Yeah, but
like
then
how
when you
done-
see-
yeah,
but then
but
when
then
you
you
see-
see Rogue
then you
One,
see
and
Rogue
all those years I was mocking it, and I'm like, golden, man.
Yeah,
But what about that tape that they used to cover up like leaks and stuff like that?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
flexi
talking
fit.
Yeah, that would have
Flexi-seal.
worked.
Yeah, Flexi-seal.
Yeah, a bit of flexi seal would have done
Yeah,
it.
you put it on. You have an infomercial, and it's just like the Emperor's like, "Give me some of that Flexi-seal."
Are you tired of your giant space stations getting blown up by some hooligans?
Do you know that what's his name? Ewan McGregor's uncle is in the original Star Wars.
That's right.
As who?
He's one of the fighter pilots. He's
He's
one of,
Wedge.
Yeah, he's Wedge.
He's Wedge?
He's Wedge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he got to play.
And he would have been like, you could imagine that kind of every fucking Thanksgiving. Oh, my uncle's here, he's in Star Wars. And then he'd be working into every conversation. He'd just be like that. Yeah, pass me the turkey. You know who didn't eat turkey? Darth Vader. He had to have pureed foods mostly because his mouth was so burnt. Right? And then he's like, hey, kids, you get drunk at Christmas. Kids, he's going to tell us another Star Wars story. And then when bloody Ewan came back and said, yeah, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi, that guy, his life must have been ruined.
You get me a part in there.
Well, Wedge was in, I think, 3 of the films. He was
He's
always-
also in The Rise of Skywalker for about 5 seconds.
Yeah,
He's got a little cameo, yeah.
he was a guy.
Chewbacca's dad's name. Do we know this?
Yeah.
I do know it. It's like I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Chuck or something like that.
Chuck. There you go.
He is watching VR porn at one stage.
It is really odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, he really is watching porn? I thought you just
Well,
made
he's
that
watching
up.
something that looks on.
He's
just
got a
seems
VR
weird.
headset and he's sort of just sitting back in his chair. Like he's having a good time.
Yeah, it's a weird.
What
thing.
is that movie? I never
It's the
watched
Christmas
it. I know,
special.
I've never watched it, though.
Oh, it's on
Came out in
YouTube.
1978, and it only had one airing. They didn't really give a lot of attention to it because they didn't really realize what kind of a hit Star Wars was going to be. So the leads were contractually obligated to be a part of it. It's got B. Arthur. It's got
Wait,
other
B.
people
Arthur's
from-
in
Yeah,
it?
B. Arthur's managing the cantina.
Yeah, and then there's I think Harvey Korman is in it as well. Carrie Fisher has a song that she
Yeah,
sings.
it's not Christmas. What is the special day? It's like Earth Day or some shit.
It's Life Day.
Life Day.
George Lucas
Yeah.
said if he had a sledgehammer, he'd break every copy of it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be
can
released. Although
see-
they sell a lot of merchandise of it at the parks even now.
You can see it on YouTube. It's there.
It's bad.
The Riff Tracks version of it is pretty fun.
But there's also like a funk band that comes on halfway through.
Yeah, Jefferson Starship's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna stop him now.
Wait, so it was in between Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope? It came
Yeah,
out-
we-
But
just-
it's not canon. But it came out in
But
'78.
you see, it's like CBS or something, and like you can even see like the YouTube clip. It's like the proper from the TV version. It's like this. And next up, the Star Wars special. It's the first time we
It's like
see
a variety show.
The first time we see Boba Fett, and he's in a cartoon in the middle
That's
of
right.
it.
Oh, wow.
But you can see that on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You can, okay. And then there was another thing, too. There was like the Ewoks had some.
There are two Ewok movies
Caravan
that came
of
out
Courage
post Return of the Jedi.
and
Yep,
Return to Endor.
that's right.
And what are those?
They're Ewok movies, man.
They're just like I think they're pre Return of the Jedi, I believe. But Wilford
Are they
Brimley's
bad?
in them. Yeah, they're bad.
I'm going to take a guess here and say they were just after Return of the Jedi because I remember my brother distinctly taking me to the cinema to see both of those films.
No, they came out in '84 and '85. They definitely came out after Return of the Jedi. But I think as far as how the story works,
You're
it's
saying
before they've been liberated by the rebels.
Yeah, and it was just like some teenagers who got caught in Endor, and then there was like a warlock type of person trying to. They're on Disney Plus. You can watch them.
Okay.
Wilford Brimley's in one of them.
Oh,
It's
I'm in.
yeah.
All right, last question here. On the characters and the colors are lightsabers. Jim said Luke had blue. Is that correct?
That's yeah.
Darth Vader
Well,
red.
but it's also green in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
but
he's
yes.
green. But
Darth
but it's
Vader
blue.
red. Yoda
Yeah.
green.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi blue. Mace Windu purple. Mace Windu.
You got it.
All right. Killed
Yeah,
it.
I know those.
All right, so this is part of the show called Dinner Party Facts. We ask our guests to give us some obscure, interesting fact that about the subject that people you can use to impress their friends at a dinner party or something like that. What do you got? You can
There are many of them, but I
give us a
feel
couple
like,
if you want. Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorites is that the on Tatooine, which is actually Tunisia, when R2D2 gets shot by the Jawas, there's another famous movie where that exact setting
I know this.
takes place in as well.
I know this.
No, we'll let him tell it.
Okay.
No, I want to hear what he's. I think I see him raising his hand.
It's also the scene where in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones has the rocket launcher and says, "I'll blow this place to heaven" or whatever.
That's right.
It's the same. It's the same
It's
ravine.
it's the exact
Get an extra
same
point.
one.
All right.
That's exactly right.
All right. Do you have another one? Real quick, or
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I like
wanna
that
put you on the
Raiders
spot, but
one.
that one's good.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is more of a question about. Do you know the Easter egg in Raiders of the Lost Ark that features characters from Star Wars?
Yes, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, when they go into the temple and they're seeing the carvings in the wall, they see carvings of C-3PO and R2D2.
No.
Next.
What? Where?
It's true.
Where's
in,
that?
in the well of souls when it's really quick, but when they're lifting the ark and they're like walking across where the snakes are, where they've been burned. You can see R2D2 and C-3PO in the background. Yeah, if you Google it, it's
Yeah,
everywhere. Oh
I'll
yeah,
check
it's
that
pretty
out.
cool.
Do you subscribe to the idea that E.T. is a Jedi? I do.
I've never heard that before, but you might be smoking correct.
Okay. No. Okay. Let's go through it. It's very okay.
Let's do it.
So if there is a scene in the Phantom Menace where we see all the UN
Yes.
type of scene where we see a
tribute
whole lot
to
of
Spielberg.
I know we see ET. I've seen
we
that.
see ETs,
Yeah,
right?
we see ETs.
We only meet one ET. We don't meet all the other ETs. ET's a Jedi. ET can literally make things move with his hands and go around this. He has telepathic things that he does with Elliot. Plus, when Halloween comes out, he walks past Yoda and goes, Yoda, Yoda. How the fuck does he know Yoda? He never watches a Star Wars film earlier on. E.T.'s a fucking Jedi. He makes a bike fly through the sky with the power of his mind whilst wrapping a sheet around his head in a Jedi-like fashion. E.T. is a motherfucking Jedi.
Well,
but look on, there's some meat to that theory, right?
No, I like it. I think you've got some substance there, my friend.
Because the other, if we didn't meet we're assuming that all the ETs can do all the different things. He makes a bike fly. He recognizes Yoda.
where's his lightsaber?
He
Well,
lost
he
it.
crashed.
He lost it.
He's also
He's
naked. We don't know what happened to him in those bushes.
Yeah, he's in the river.
I got
He's
another
tripping on
obscure.
acid
I
in
got
the
another
woods.
obscure fact. I feel like this is one that you're going to get. But what was the working title of Return of the Jedi that
Blue
they
Harvest.
filmed under?
Blue
Yes,
Harvest.
that's right. Good job.
Blue
I
Harvest.
knew you would
Give us
get
something
that
Jim
one.
doesn't know.
Blue I wish these questions were early on. I'm crushing Blue Harvest. I have a Blue Harvest
I wanted to
T-shirt
build up your confidence.
Wait.
I just
The
wouldn't
working
want
title of the film was Blue Harvest?
because they were worried about the
to.
budget.
Do you know the subtitle of Blue Harvest?
Oh, Blue Harvest. It's something like Harvest to Beyond or some shit. I can't remember. It's something like that.
It was Blue Harvest Horror Beyond Imagination.
Beyond imagination.
The Family Guy Star Wars special is called Blue Harvest.
Yeah, the Family Guy's
That's
got Blue
exactly
Harvest
right.
as well.
And that is.
But it was
why.
because every time they went to the shop to go, oh, we need some masking tape, and they go, what's it for? And they were like, Star Wars, and they're like, and this roll of tape costs $500. And so they had to, like, when they were making the movie, they had to go, oh, it's for some shitty film called Blue Harvest. Oh, $20.
That's why in Atlanta the call name for Ant-Man was Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Do you know why Luke's lightsaber was green in Return of the Jedi? I mean, as far as filming wise, not story wise.
Oh, filming wise.
Technically, why was it green instead of blue?
Is it because they had the introduction of blue screens?
No, I like that, but no, that's not
Because
why.
they were in a
They had
forest?
blue screens before that.
Because then it would blend in the forest.
Yeah, because a lot of it was taking place on Tatooine, and with the desert and the blue background, they wanted the green was going to show up better, so that was the only reason.
But, and also to sell a few more toys. I remember that blowing
Well,
my
that
mind.
didn't hurt.
I remember
Yeah.
blowing.
Oh, it was great.
It blew
That
my
action
mind. I was
figure?
like, as soon as it went vroom, and I was like, oh, it's green.
You gotta get a new one.
It was a simpler time.
yeah. Okay. Do you want any more quizzes here? Or?
Okay, this is my favorite bit.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'm here to help. Let me think of another one that would be good. You already mentioned. Do you know another famous stormtrooper that was in The Force Awakens besides?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig?
Another famous stormtrooper that was in The Force Awakens. I know Simon Pegg played that monstery thing, but I don't know if he played a
Yeah,
stormtrooper as well. But I'm going to say Simon Pegg for shits and gigs.
No, he's royalty.
Prince William, Prince
Yeah, I
Harry,
believe so.
Prince
Yeah,
William.
I think it was William. Yeah.
I think it's the redhead one.
Oh, Harry.
Yeah.
Oh, Harry.
I just got
Is
to play
there?
Stormtrooper.
It's Harry.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just get to play it? You think a lot of people would just be Stormtroopers just for fun.
You're a little bit short for a stormtrooper.
Not me, but I'm saying people that are famous enough to be like, let me be a Stormtrooper. You know,
Because they're all meant to be clones, you see. They're all
yeah,
meant
no,
to be
I
the
got
same
it.
height.
Yeah, I got that. Okay.
You ever seen Once Were Warriors?
No.
Oh, it's a banger. The guy who plays Boba Fett, it's his first movie.
Tamira Morrison.
Yeah, it's his first big film out of New Zealand. It's one of the best movies you'll ever see. It's one of
Really?
those ones where if you watch it, take the afternoon. Don't, because you're going to need to sit for an hour afterwards and go, oh, because it's a heavy film, right? But it's a banger of a movie about the sort of slums in New Zealand and the Maoris and all that. It's a very good movie. Once Were
He's terrific. He's a very talented.
and
guy.
he did that role, hit it out of the park, and then his next role was Speed 2. That was his Hollywood breakthrough. He was
Really?
he was the villain in Speed 2, which had the boat. And then his next thing was Star Wars. But
And then he was, of course, the father in Moana. He was great in that.
Yeah, but once were Warriors, I'm telling you.
But then Boba Fett
No
coming
kidding.
back must have been huge for him. He was like, hey,
Oh,
we
it's
got a new
huge.
role
And
for
he
you.
is like a really awesome guy, too. He's able to put a lot of his own culture into the evolution
He
of
is
that
so
character.
terrifyingly scary in Once Were Warriors, and he's somewhat the hero of the piece, but he beats the shit out of people in bars and stuff, and he's just the most menacing.
Is he an anti-hero or is he just a
He's
bad
an
guy?
anti-hero. He's a guy down in his luck who's going through a few problems and blah, 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 blah. But it's
I wanna check that out.
There's a sequel that's not very good, Once Were Warriors 2. Don't worry about that one. But the first one's a banger of a movie. Jeez, it's a good film.
That's cool. I'm more likely to see that than I am Speed 2.
Yeah, you don't need to see Speed 2.
No.
Speed 2,
1
you
was-
get the
was
gist.
enough
The boat
speed.
won't stop.
Yeah. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it once. That's all you need. All right, Dan, thank you for being here. Again, the podcast is called Coffee with Kenobi, so check that out. And you can go to coffeewithkenobi.com. The website will have all the information there. And then on Twitter, it's at Coffee with Kenobi. IG, it's at coffee_with_Kenobi. And on Facebook, at Coffee with Kenobi. And also buy one of the books if you're into Star Wars. Like there you can go, the Star Wars Character Encyclopedia, for instance. Or how about this one, Jim? Star Wars, I Am Your Father, Lessons for Parents, Protectors,
Yeah, I
and
want to check
Mentors.
that out.
Mate, this is the episode I've always wanted to do. If I'm to be completely honest with the audience, this is the podcast I'd want to do every time.
man.
I could talk Star Wars all day, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'd
for
love to
being
have you
podcast.
on Coffee with Kenobi
All
sometime.
right, whenever you want.
Oh, do you have
whenever you
guests
want.
on?
Yeah.
Whenever you
He
want.
just got so excited.
Whenever you want.
We'll get it set up.
I'll be a guest whenever you want. I'll be on it. And I
Okay,
won't
I love
swear on nothing. So your high school kids,
I don't
if
have
they
to
listen,
edit it then. That's
no, I
good.
won't swear on nothing. I swear on my one, but I won't swear on your one. I'll be real respectful, real good. I won't say shit on nothing.
Okay, we'll put you in contact. I'll put you in contact with.
That'd be great.
Well,
Hey,
I'll
thanks
give it-
so much, everybody. This was an absolute pleasure and delight. Great chatting with you all.
Yeah, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining
Happy
us.
Thanksgiving, too.
Happy Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. If you're ever at a party and someone says, they make the lightsabers work with cobra crystals, go, well, I don't know about that, and walk away. Good night, Australia.